And in this graduation season, of course, one of the great myths sold to young people in America is that if you just work hard, stay out of trouble, get good grades, and earn a college degree, the economy will reward you. But for the class of 2026, that promise is looking shakier by the day. A recent opinion piece from USA Today argues that today's graduates are walking into one of the most difficult entry-level job markets in years. Hiring has slowed, employers are cutting back on training programs, and AI is beginning to reshape white-collar work faster than universities can adapt. Meanwhile, students are graduating with massive debt loads into an economy where even good jobs increasingly require years of experience for supposedly entry-level positions. And honestly, if you listen closely to younger workers right now, the frustration sounds a lot like workers experienced after the Great Recession, or even earlier during the early 1990s downturn. That's what makes this recent article from the New York Times so interesting. It revisits graduates from the class of 1991, another generation that entered a weak labor market and felt completely adrift at the time. One woman, Jennifer Bognar, described spending her spring break in Washington, D.C., knocking on doors asking if anyone had a job opening. At the time, she admitted, "I just can't find anything out there." And her daughter Julia is facing almost the exact same problem after graduating from Arizona State with a graphic design degree. She says companies either reject her outright or never respond at all. What's frustrating, she said, is trying to convey that to companies. And that detail matters because it cuts against this lazy narrative you hear from pundits who want to blame young workers for everything. These graduates are applying, they're credentialed, they're trying. The jobs simply are not there in the numbers they were promised. Another graduate profiled in the piece, Sharon Dilling, ended up taking a secretarial job because journalism positions were disappearing during the recession. "It wasn't what I wanted to do," she said, but she also offered advice that feels brutally relevant today. You don't have the luxury of sitting down and feeling sorry for yourself. You've got to keep going. Now, there's something both inspiring and deeply troubling about these stories. Inspiring because many people eventually found meaningful careers through unexpected paths. Troubling because society increasingly normalizes this idea the young worker should just absorb instability, underemployment, unpaid internships, and endless uncertainty as a rite of passage. And that instability is hitting especially hard in cities like Philadelphia. A recent report from the Philadelphia Inquirer highlights graduates struggling to break into professional work while relying heavily on networking, temp work, and personal connections just to get interviews. That's another uncomfortable truth about the modern labor market. Merit alone often isn't enough. Increasingly, access matters. Who you know matters. Whether your family can financially support you through months of unpaid or low-paid work matters. And that creates a class divide that isn't talked about enough. Because when graduates are told to just network, what that often really means is leverage social capital. But working class students frequently don't have relatives in corporate management, media, law firms, or finance. They don't have built-in pipelines. At the same time, entire professions are being reshaped in real time. Julia Bognar worries AI could undermine graphic design jobs, though she insists human creativity still matters. Quote, "People are using AI and it's obvious," she said. "What we bring to the table is something a little intangible." And she's right. But corporations don't necessarily prioritize quality or human creativity over labor cost reductions. If executives believe AI allows them to cut junior staff positions, many of them absolutely will. That's the broader issue here. We built an economy that treats young workers as disposable inputs instead of human beings trying to build stable lives. The old social contract has eroded. A degree no longer guarantees security. Productivity gains don't translate into stability for workers. Entry-level jobs vanish while corporate profits soar. And younger generations are being told to endlessly adapt to systems they had no role in creating. But there's another lesson buried in these stories too. Workers survive collectively, not individually. The answer cannot simply be hustle harder. We need stronger labor protections, public investment, affordable education, and a labor market that values people beyond their immediate profitability. Because if every graduating class keeps hearing the exact same message decade after decade, take whatever you can get, stay resilient, lower your expectations, then maybe the problem isn't the graduates.